In a bustling city where dreams danced between steel towers and neon lights, Zena lived a life of quiet determination. She was neither royalty nor a damsel locked away in a tower. She was a young woman who understood the weight of responsibility and the value of hope. Her days began before the sun had a chance to paint the sky with gold, as she hurried through small, crowded streets to her job at a modest cafe. With every cup of coffee she poured, and every crumb of bread she swept away, Zena nurtured a secret wish, a wish for something greater, for a life where she could shape her own destiny. Her home was a tiny apartment shared with her stepmother and two stepsisters. Unlike the fairy tales of old, their cruelty was subtle, woven into daily life through dismissive glances and whispered criticisms. Zena was often the last to eat, the first to rise, and the one left with chores that seemed to multiply without end. Yet, she refused to let bitterness settle in her heart. She found solace in books, in the melodies of the city, and in the quiet moments when she could dream of a future built on her own terms. One evening, as Zena walked home beneath a sky ditched with stars, she noticed a flyer fluttering against a lamppost. Innovation Grant. Pitch your idea. Change your world. The words ignited something within her, a spark of possibility. She had always loved technology and design, tinkering with old gadgets and sketching ideas for apps that could solve everyday problems. But she had never thought her ideas worth sharing, least of all in a competition that promised to change lives. As she read the details, her heart beat faster. The competition was open to anyone, regardless of background. All that mattered was the idea and the passion behind it. Zena hesitated, feeling the familiar weight of self-doubt. Could she really stand among innovators and entrepreneurs? Was her voice strong enough to be heard? That night, she sat at her small desk and began to write, letting her imagination flow. She envisioned an app that would connect people seeking support, guidance, or friendship, an app that would bring hope to those who, like her, felt unseen. The days leading up to the competition were a whirlwind of preparation. Zena balanced her cafe shifts with research, design, and practice. She watched tutorials online, reached out to tech forums, and even borrowed books from the library to fill in her knowledge gaps. Her stepsister scoffed at her efforts, dismissing her dreams as childish fantasies. Her stepmother warned her not to neglect her responsibilities, but Zena pressed on, driven by a quiet conviction that she could make a difference. On the day of the pitch, Zena arrived at the grand hall, her nerves tangled with excitement. The room buzzed with energy, filled with people from all walks of life, each eager to share their vision. She listened as others presented their ideas, some polished and confident, others tentative but passionate. When her turn came, she took a deep breath and stepped onto the stage. Her voice trembled at first, but as she spoke about her journey, about the loneliness she had felt, the challenges she had faced, and the hope she had found in connecting with others, her words grew stronger. She described her app, not as a product, but as a community, a lifeline for those searching for belonging. She spoke of the power of empathy, of lifting one another up, and of dreaming beyond the boundaries set by circumstance. The judges listened intently, and the audience leaned forward, drawn into her story. When she finished, there was a moment of silence, followed by a wave of applause that made her heart soar. For the first time, Zena felt truly seen, not for the chores she did or the burdens she carried, but for her ideas, her courage, and her unwavering belief in kindness. Days passed, and Zena returned to her routine, uncertain of the outcome, but proud of herself for trying. Then, one afternoon, she received an email. She had won the grant. Her idea would be funded, and she would receive mentorship from industry leaders. The news felt surreal, like a dream she had dared to chase and finally caught. With support, Zena began building her app, learning new skills, and collaborating with others who shared her vision. She found mentors who encouraged her, friends who believed in her, and a community that grew stronger with each connection made. Her stepsisters watched in disbelief as Zena's world expanded beyond the confines of their apartment, her stepmother's criticisms fading into the background. But Zena's journey was not one of revenge or triumph over those who had hurt her. Instead, she chose compassion. She invited her stepsisters to join her team, giving them a chance to find their own strengths and passions. She helped her stepmother find resources for support, understanding that resentment only bred more pain. Through her actions, Zena proved that empowerment was not about stepping on others, but about lifting everyone together. As her app launched and stories poured in from users who found friendship, guidance, and hope, Zena reflected on her path. She had not waited for a fairy godmother to transform her life. She had taken each step herself, fueled by resilience and the belief that every person deserved to be seen and heard. Her story became an inspiration to many, a testament to the power of self-belief and kindness in a world often defined by competition. Zena traveled to schools and community centers, sharing her experiences and encouraging others to dream big, no matter their circumstances. She spoke about the importance of empathy and innovation, and how technology could be a force for good. Her message was simple: greatness comes not from privilege or magic, but from the courage to act, the willingness to learn, and the determination to keep moving forward. In time, Zena's life changed in ways she had never imagined. She found friends who celebrated her successes, colleagues who respected her ideas, and a sense of fulfillment that came from knowing she had made a difference. The city that once felt overwhelming became a canvas for her ambitions, and the quiet dreams she had cherished alone now echoed in the hearts of many. Yet, she never forgot where she started. Zena continued to visit the cafe, offering mentorship to young workers, reminding them that their dreams mattered too. She donated a portion of her profits to support local shelters and organizations, ensuring that the ripple of hope she had created would continue to spread. Her journey was not marked by glass slippers or royal balls, but by resilience, kindness, and the courage to rewrite her own story. In a world that often defined success by wealth and status, Zena showed that true empowerment came from within, from daring to dream, to act, and to lift others as we rise. And so, Zena's modern Cinderella story became a beacon for countless others. She proved that magic is real, not in the sweep of a wand, but in the strength of a heart determined to create change. In every challenge she faced, she found an opportunity to grow. In every act of kindness, she discovered the true meaning of empowerment. Her tale continues, a living testament to the power of hope, compassion, and the belief that every person, no matter where they begin, can shape their own happily ever after.